Alright, welcome back. Quick video here. These are the stab servos. I kind of already talked about this a little bit, but what I'm doing right now, let me get my flashlight here. So you can kind of see it, man. Come on, there we go. Kind of see I've already glued a little ply piece on the back side of the servo mount area. You can kind of see where I kind of cut out for the wire, so I'll have to sand that out a little bit. I did one there, one on top, and then of course the other side, and then I have these longer screws here that I'm going to use. They're like your typical servo screw. They have a short one. I think this is like 16 millimeters or something. Right here. Just to kind of see, because you know, that way I can get, yeah, it's 16 millimeters, but you know, where it basically sits on the thing takes it to about 14 millimeters. So the reason why I went longer is I'm going to take these carbon pieces. You can kind of see it there. Those will go on top to kind of hold the servo. Man, there we go. Hold the servo, and you got those nice long screws to get through all that ply. So that'll beef it up a little bit, but that's what I just want to show you guys that. I recommend doing that because this ply they have in here is very brittle and soft, so just going through the little bit that it goes through, in my opinion, if you're not careful, will strip out. This will just give it some extra security. I'll be doing the same thing for the rudder servos. These things have like a little wire set up here, and there's a groove that is cut in the actual rudder, so it just basically moves around in the groove, kind of like the flaps do on the Tomcat. What do they call that? Direct. I mean, it's like a direct drive, but this portion is a direct drive. But the way the servo hooks up, there's an arm under there, which these guys. This connects to the rod and inside. Then you have a pull to your servo. So they give you these bearing ends that I'll use, and then they have these guys, but I'm going to use a Dubro ball end to go on here. So I think this will mount. These mount to this, so I'll have to actually, I don't know. I don't have to look. I don't know which end they want to put these on. I don't know if they want to put it on this end or on the servo arm end. Either way, no big deal. But this is going to have to be drilled out and tapped for a bigger bolt, unless you want to use the stock here. But even these little Dubro style or Sullivan's, man, I gotta figure out the focus on this thing. It just started going willy wampus all of a sudden. But even these little pins are bigger than these holes, or smaller, or bigger than these holes already. So you're gonna have to, if you want to use the stock ones, you'll have to drill those to fit this anyway. So, but that's about it. Hadn't felt too good today, so it took me a little while to get out here. Plus, it's just a little cold and dreary. But I'm gonna go ahead and get these servos hard mounted. I gotta go in and get the stabs out, and that way I can use the shaft to kind of get them lined up. I did run into a problem where this servo, the mount, I guess, is maybe a little different. So the servo sits further inside than this one. This one sits pretty good. I mean, it pretty much is as close to the skin as you can get it. This one, it hits the skin and, you know, has about a millimeter or two that it needs to come up just to get where it can sit flat and not rub here. So I'll fix that, and that's about it. It's hard to see. I don't know if you can see in here. This is going to be the pane. Yeah, you can kind of see it there. Let me turn my light on here. But right there is, yeah, it's hard to see it, but let me hit the focus here. But that's your rudder servo mount, and it's a thin ply. They actually glued a little piece of ply on the back to kind of give your servo screws a little bit of bite. And I don't know if you can see it, but right there you got the output shaft for the rudder, and then you got those two bolts with washer lock nuts. That's the mount for the rudder. So I'm going to put a bigger washer on the back side there to give it, to kind of spread out that load so it doesn't crush the wood and loosen up. So I don't know what's going on up the front. You can see the front mount there. Looks like they glued in a solid ply block there. Get the light in there. Kind of hard to even get in. Okay, there we go. So you can see that little block there. That's the front mount for the rudder. They glued in a hard block. So that's cool. You know, that hard aircraft ply. Those washers and stuff be fine. But this is, the rudder one back here is softer ply, so I need to put some more washers on there to keep it from, or a bigger washer to kind of spread out the load a little bit. Yeah, and that's just going to be, it's going to be a pain to get in there and do those rudder servos, so bear with me there. Let's see, that's about it. So I'll get to work on this, and after this, after the stab servos, I'll get to the rudder servos, and that'll be all the servos minus the tail wheel or nose wheel servo. That's easy. That's just I'm using a Savox servo for that. I do have to order some more servo horns. I don't have. I thought, oh well, there's our Futaba. Huh. I guess this one. Ah, yeah. See, that was the problem. I had one Futaba, and I thought they were both Futaba, but one's a JR, so I gotta order some dual servo arms. I don't have any for the rudders. I don't want to use plastic like I did on the F-14, just because of the fact that, no, I didn't use plastic, I used metal. Just due to the fact that these rudder servos actually, you know, you do some toe in on your rudder for takeoff and landing, kind of like the real ones. So I don't want to use anything that worry about breaking. So I got to order some of those. I may have to order some rods, because the ones they gave me I think are going to be too long for the rudders. So these guys, plus they're those flimsy ones that they give you. I thought about getting titanium ones, but then again they're so short and you got pull, so I may not worry with upgrading those like I'm doing all the ones on the wing for the flaps and ailerons. So that being said, what else? That's about it. So you guys have a good one, and I'll see you next video. I'll show you, I'll get some more videos once these are installed, and you know, kind of get all that mechanism, you know, hooked up and everything the best I can. So you guys take it easy.